Hi, I'm Carla Brigande, and I'm going to show you how to navigate the code.org website, and I'm going to demonstrate how to access some resources and show you some of the features. I'm going to start by sharing my screen. I am already going to be on the code.org website, so you can see you just go to code.org, and then I'm going to sign in. I have my login information stored. You may or may not. And this is going to bring me directly to the code.org website. It brings me to my dashboard, and it will bring you to your dashboard. And you can see here these are classroom sections that I've already set up. So you, if you've watched a previous video that we demonstrated for you, already have your classroom set up. So you can just get to your course from there. Otherwise, you can see I'm on my dashboard. I can just click on the course catalog. We use CS Fundamentals, which is the elementary school curriculum. So I'm going to go to the elementary school. I'm going to pull down CS Fundamentals and I'm going to click View Course. That's going to bring up all the courses A through F. And you can see that Course A is the kindergarten course, Course B, first grade, Course C, second grade. You're going to use the course content that aligns with the grade level that you teach. On the flip side of that, if you have students that are advanced and can move faster, you can use an above level course. And if you have students who are struggling, it might be more appropriate for them to use a below level course. I'm going to click on Course C today, which is the second grade course. I'm going to show you that I am on the 2022 version. If you look at this, there are different versions. Make sure you're on the 2022 version. You can also see that I can view lesson plans and teacher resources. You cannot see those if you do not log in. So if you don't log in, you can still access the content, but there's resources you will not be able to access, such as the lesson plans and the teacher resources. From the pull-down menu on the teacher resources, you can see this is all standards. Those are actually computer science standards. A little bit cooler for us would be the Common Core standards, because we know we have this emphasis on, language arts and math. And you can see that each one of the courses is aligned to these next gen standards, which aren't exactly the same as the standards that you may be using, but they will be very similar. And you can see there's next gen science standards here too. So that's just a cool fact that may help this be more relevant and be easier to incorporate into your teaching. Other resources, there's curriculum guides, virtual lesson modifications, debugging guides. And I really like the cross-curricular extension activities. So I encourage you to explore these. There's also printing options. You can print the lesson plans for students. I'm going to show you those in a minute. You can also print handouts. And a lot of these go with the extension exercises. So these are already made for you. You can just print these out. They're unplugged, so you can just do them on your own and use them with your students. They are ready to implement. For example, on the lesson plans, let's look at a lesson plan. They're going to give you an introduction, warm-up activities, closure activities, standards for computer science, the key vocabulary words, everything that you need for a lesson plan. So when you implement these, you can actually just print these lesson plans and turn them in. They also have extended activities, and the extended activities are some of my favorite. And they have these amazing handouts that you can just print and use with your students. All of this is ready-made, and here in the corner, there's a slideshow that you can use to show with your students, right? So let's go back to the lessons, back to Course C. So these are some of the sort of generic features. Now I'm going to show you the specific teaching the content. So let's see if I go to Course 3 or C. Let's go to Lesson 4, and maybe I'll try number 3. This is a debugging exercise. So a debugging exercise means that the code is already written for you. And for your students, they just have to figure out what's wrong with it. We can run And you'll see that he doesn't make it, right? So we're going to have to look at these and figure out what's going wrong. Some cool features that you may or may not know about. Up in the left-hand corner over here, we see that there's a book. I'm going to click on that book, and it brings up exactly what the instructions are to make it easier for the students to read it, but it will also read it for them.
Use your debugging skills to get Scrat to the acorn.
If you just want them to listen without seeing the words, we can just use the audio button.
Use your debugging skills to get Scrat to the acorn.
So let's say that I'm your student and I'm having a lot of trouble with this and I can't really figure out how to fix this code. If you look at Scrat over here, there's a light bulb over him and there's the number 3. That number 3 means I can get 3 hints, and those hints are going to be more targeted and more explicit each time. So I'm going to click on it and they're going to say, do you want a hint? And I'm going to go, yes, I absolutely need a hint. There's a lot of valuable code in the workspace. Don't just delete it all and start over. So if you notice, these come apart. And I can put them back together and they snap. What this is teaching your students is if there's a mistake, it doesn't mean all of the code is wrong. So we don't want to take this and throw it away. We just want to find specifically what is wrong. Let's say that I still don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to reset Scrat, but I'm going to go for my second hint. What is my second hint? Does everything work after the first step? What do they mean by that? I can take a step. I can go this code one step at a time. You can see move forward is highlighted. I'm going to take another step. Scrat is turning right. Is he supposed to turn right there? I don't think so. I think he's supposed to keep going straight. But you know what? If I'm still not sure about that, I can actually get another hint. Can't figure out? Try running the code a couple of times, see what happens. So I'm going to move this around. Remember, I can pull these apart and put them back together. Let's try, see if it works. I have a feeling it might not, but let's see. Uh-oh, he didn't go far enough, but there's not enough code here. What do? I can just drag this one over. He needs to move forward one more time. I'm going to reset it. I'm going to run it. Let's say you're the teacher and you don't actually know what's wrong. You have a lot of students. I'm going to replay this. I have a lot of students and you don't know what's wrong. Your head's not in the game right now. Well, for teachers only, you're in luck, and you can only see this if you're logged in, but we're going to click on it and it's going to give you an example solution. That solution is going to be the answer, and only teachers have access to this. So you can see this is the right answer. I'm going to stop seeing the solution now. And I'm going to show you my last really cool feature. So if you notice, these are blocks, right? This is Blockly. I can drag and I can drop these. Computer programmers, it's their job to make accessing computers and information on computers very easy for people like you and me and your students. That's where Microsoft Windows came in. But computer programmers actually know how to write the program behind these blocks. So you can tell your students to reveal the code. Right over here, there's a show code button. This is what tells the blocks what to do. Move forward, turn right, move forward, move forward. What makes this more challenging? Why is it more challenging to write the code? What are the advantages to writing the code? What are the advantages to being able to use the blocks? Why are the blocks easier? These are just some questions that you can use with your students. I hope that you've enjoyed this lesson. It showed you some good tips and tricks, things that you can use to make it easier to implement with your students. And thank you for watching the video. I'm going to stop sharing.